Call the meeting to order and ask you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to the October 9th, 2018 County Commission meeting. I'd remind you to silence your cell phones. The meeting documents are on the end of the counter, and Craig would help you with a listening device if you need something like that. That will move on to routine business. Item number 1 is consider a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 2 is approve the commission meeting minutes from October 2nd, 2018.
So move.
A motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 3 is bills to be paid in the amount of $322,562.14.
Pay the bills.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments? Commissioner Barth?
I would just point out that without large transfers from the Treasurer's Department to the state of South Dakota and without too much highway construction bills, that this is more like our regular bills.
Thank you, Commissioner Barth. Any other comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 4-1 recused unanimously. Item number 4 is reports. Item A is Highway Department monthly construction project update for October 2018, and that's at file at the auditor's office. Item number 5 is personnel actions. Item A is consider a motion to approve the routine personnel actions. Is there a motion?
So move. Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item B is a special commission action to approve immediate recruitment. Good morning.
Good morning, Jen Oddix with Human Resources. We would like to request immediate recruitment and hiring for the legal office assistant for the Public Advocate's Office. They've been approved for a new position for 2019. They have some salary savings this year, so they'd like to begin recruitment and hiring of that this year if they could.
Any questions for Jen? Commissioner Karski?
Approve.
Oh, sorry.
Second. If I may ask a
And a
question
second
real
with a
quick.
comment. Yep.
That part-time position's been vacant, correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen. Item number 6 is abatements recommended for approval. Item number A is Minnehaha County Partial Number 52481, 2017 property tax exemption for $1,364.10. I don't think anybody's speaking on this. Is there any questions? Is there any
Move
questions?
approval.
Okay, a motion.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 7 is notices and requests. Item number A is authorize the auditor to publish notice of request for proposals for bond counsel.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bob Litz from the Auditor's Office. This morning, I'm asking for some action. And the longtime Minnehaha County Bond Counsel, Betsy Abbey, formerly of Lindquist and Venom, informed the county that she'd be retiring from the position of bond counsel. To that end, the Auditor's Office, the Civil State's Attorney, and Betsy Abbey herself have been constructing an RFP to search for the next county bond counsel. The following documents are attached. Number 1 would be the RFP document itself. Included in that RFP document is item number 2, a timeline of events as this unfolds, and number 3, a notice of request for proposals. Due to the specialized nature of the firms that perform such duties, it is not necessary to put the RFP out as a competitive process pursuant to SDCL 5-18A-22. However, the county wants to solicit competitive proposals in order to attract the best possible candidates. Today's request for action is to authorize the auditor to publish the notice of request for proposals for bond counsel. Stand by for any questions.
Any questions for Bob this morning?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Barth?
Bob, is this like a certified type position where a person has a license from the state to be a bond
No,
counsel?
and actually you don't have to be an attorney either, but it is
So
a
I could
special.
bid on it?
Well, Jeff, we'd certainly consider you, however, but you know, it is people that specialize in this here, and most of we've identified 6 firms that we're going to reach out to that are regional players in this, and their expertise is well documented, and those are the type of folks that we're hoping to answer this here, and then we're putting out the RFP in case there's somebody else out there that we've not considered, so they have a chance at it as well.
Commissioner Kursky?
Auditor Litz, who's going to make the decision? Do you have a team that's going to look at these
We do have a
proposals?
team, and just for your information, it was advised that we do not have a commissioner on board. And so the team that we're going to have picking out and going through these proposals will be Olivia Larson, Donna Kelly, Kim Adamson, and myself. There will be 4 of us looking at these.
Thank you. Additional questions? Look for a motion.
Move
So moved.
approval.
Second.
Motion is second to authorize publication of the notice for the proposals. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Bob. Item number 8 is planning and zoning notices. There are none. Item number 9 is petition for compromise of lien. There are none. And next, we have opportunity for public comment. If there's anyone that would like to speak on something that is not on today's agenda. Okay. Move on to regular business. Item number 10 is issue a proclamation recognizing October 2018 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Minnehaha County. Amy, good morning.
I have some of my other council members here, but they're making me come up here by myself. So, well, good morning. I will go ahead and read our proclamation for October Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas 4 million women are victims of severe assault by their intimate partners annually in the United States, and nearly 1 in 4 women is likely to be abused by a partner in her lifetime. Whereas children who grow up in violent homes are abused and neglected at a rate higher than the national average. Whereas in 2017, the Sioux Falls Police Department and the Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office responded to a total of 1,494 calls related to domestic violence and stalking. Whereas in 2016, 57% of the murders in South Dakota were a result of domestic violence. Whereas a dedicated group of citizens have been fighting domestic violence together through the Minnehaha County Family Violence Council for 36 years. Whereas wearing a purple ribbon during the month of October and attending Take Back the Night on October 11th, 2018 will show support for victims and survivors of domestic violence. Whereas the voices of victims offer us important insight into the personal pain and loss that victims of domestic violence endure and are voices that deserve our attention, respect, and support. Now therefore we, the Minnehaha County Commission, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2018 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urge all citizens to become actively involved to work toward improving victim safety and holding perpetrators of domestic abuse accountable for their actions against individual victims and our society as a whole.
Thank you, Amy. Could I have you tell who you are to our TV audience?
Certainly. Amy Carter, I'm the director with Children's Inn and also a member of the Minnehaha County Family Violence Council.
Thank you, Amy. Are there any questions for Amy? We appreciate what you do, and you do have a very valuable service to our county, but also to Minnehaha County as us sending people to your agency. So appreciate that.
Thank you.
Commissioner.
I think Commissioner Bender.
I have a selfish question. Do you guys have any extra purple ribbons?
We can get you some, yes. Would you like? Where would you like us to bring those?
I'll call you.
Okay,
I can come by.
okay,
Thanks.
perfect, yes.
Any other questions?
I'm
Commissioner
wondering if we
Bendigo?
can recognize the other members of the commission's group, if you will, because they're all extremely important part of what we do as an organization and what they do as an organization. So I'm wondering if they could come forward and introduce themselves, if they want to.
No pressure.
Amy let you off the hook, but Commissioner Bendigo is not going to.
I'm Michelle Markgraf, Executive Director at the Compass Center here in Sioux Falls.
Thank you.
I'm Kelly Peterson. I'm a victim witness assistant with the State's Attorney's Office.
Heather Wieg, Outreach at Children's Inn.
Travis Stofker, Domestic Violence Investigator, Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you. We have all walks here. Thank you very much for coming.
Madam Chair, I wonder if
Commissioner
they could review the plan for the march on Saturday night.
Yep, you want to talk about that?
Sure, so Thursday evening is Take Back the Night.
Sorry.
That's okay, October 11th. We were beginning this year with an empowerment march at 5:30 p.m. It'll be on the east side of the Multicultural Center. It'll be just a brief march and just a chance for us to come together as a community. We'll have a survivor there, do a brief kind of introduction to the evening, and then march around the law enforcement center and then back to the Multicultural Center, where our program and dinner will begin at 6 p.m. And this is a free event, open to the public. Anyone can attend. Our program then will have some music, dinner, and then a survivor sharing her story. And that will conclude the evening at the Multicultural Center then.
So Thursday night, 5:30 at the Multicultural Center.
Correct, yes, and free and open to the public.
Yeah. I have been in the past, and it is really a good event. It's really an eye-opener.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And the other thing I would mention is you might see downstairs, there are silent witnesses on display, and those are on display throughout the community. They're life-size red figurines that represent individuals who lost their life to domestic violence. And so those will be here on display in the county administration building throughout the month and in other locations as well.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
We need a motion on the proclamation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 11 is a briefing on the South Dakota Fit Jail bond proceeds.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bob Litz from the Auditor's Office again. The purpose of this memo is to update the Commission on the results of the Minnehaha County's investments with PMA, which is an entity that specializes in investing bond proceeds as they're spent down on a capital project. The Auditor's Office has paid close attention to the timeline of the project as it has progressed. The two main considerations for the investments are security of the taxpayer dollars and liquidity to match the drawdown schedule as presented by representatives of this project. I'd also like to tell you that we have had 4 updates on the drawdown schedule as we go along. They've been very accommodating, and it's actually stretched this timeline out a little bit, and we've actually been able to invest more money than we had originally anticipated. To address the security of the taxpayer dollars, we are regulated by statute as to what type of investments the county can make. Minnehaha County has a system of laddered treasury notes and money market investments that are recognized as risk adverse. Liquidity is covered in the money market investments, which are available on demand. As of 8/31/18, we had a total of $42.2 million on deposit, with $1.5 million in money market and $40.7 million in other fixed rate investments. We originally had anticipated $1 million of interest earnings as a result of the investments made. We have realized $230,192 on interest earnings through 8/31/18, and we are on track to earn a total of $1.151 million through June of 2020. Stand by for questions.
Questions for Bob? Commissioner Barth?
Bob, in the environment where the Federal Reserve is raising rates, do we respond positively when those rates go up? Do our rate of return also go up?
Yes, that would only serve to benefit the county. You know, as fate would have it, we bought the bonds at a pretty good interest rate, and now the interest rate's going up, so we benefit from investing that dollar.
Additional questions? Okay. Bob, thank you for the briefing, and thank you for finding us a little more money
You
for
bet.
our jail.
Thank you.
12 is authorize the chairman to sign agreement to place 3 requests for railroad crossing improvements on the South Dakota Department of Transportation statewide transportation improvement program. DJ, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. DJ Booth, the Highway Superintendent. We have another few projects with the railroad. The Department of Transportation offers up a program through the federal government to improve railroad crossings in our county. And the program is a 90-10 split for funding, and so we pay 10% of the railroad's cost for improving the crossings. We've identified 3 of them, and the Department of Transportation has negotiated these 3 agreements with us, with their state's attorney's office. The first one is on Highway 130, right near Renner. The second one is on Highway 122 near Baltic, and the third one is on Highway 110 just south of Del Rapids. All 3 of these are in really poor shape and need to be replaced very badly. The memo says that we were hoping to get some of them done in 2018 and then the rest of them in 2019. We were contacted by the railroad. It sounds like all 3 of these will be in 2019. So today we just are requesting your approval of the contracts and signature on the contracts so we can move forward and get them planned for next year.
Any questions for DJ on these crossings? Commissioner Bender?
So DJ, are there a lot of other similar railroad crossings that we also are in need of repair as we look to the future?
We have a pretty systematic program where we are replacing all of them throughout the county. The old timber ones that were installed anywhere from 10 years ago to 50 years ago, and we go through every year and we replace 2 or 3 of them, it seems like, and then sometimes at the end of the year the railroad contacts us and says if they have extra materials that they'll do an extra 1 or 2 of them for us. Since I've been here in 7 years, we've probably done 10 of them, 12 of them, and now we're trying to do the remaining. I think that we probably have another 15 or so to do.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Additional questions, Commissioner Barth?
Are some of these on township roads or?
No, all of these would be on our county highway system.
And so the townships work with the railroad on the others, or we just let them go with the wood and timbers, or?
You know, I'm not sure. The county wouldn't have any jurisdiction over that. I would guess that the township would be available to apply for this program as well. It's a program that we have to apply for. I would think that the townships would be able to apply for it, but I can't say for sure.
Madam Chair, it might be something that we want to bring up to the townships at a future time. Some of those roads, people are going fast with their grain trucks.
I'll make a note to follow up with that, and if they are able to apply for it, I'll make sure to mention that during our next township meeting.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions for DJ? I need a motion.
So move.
Second.
A motion, a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 13 is consider a motion to authorize the Highway Department to purchase a plow package from Truck Bodies and Equipment Internationals Incorporated at the Minnesota state bid price.
Commissioners, we have previously purchased 2 Freightliner trucks and 2 truck bodies from Northern Truck here in Sioux Falls. And the last package to purchase to complete the installation of these snowplow trucks would be the hydraulic system to operate the bodies and the plows, and then the plows that go along with the hydraulic system. We've looked through the available contracts that we're able to purchase off of, and the Minnesota state bid is the most favorable contract. And so we've provided you with a quote and contract from the Minnesota state bid for a total of $51,384. It's for 2 separate trucks, so they're about $25,000 each, and looking for your approval on this purchase.
Questions on the trucks? Motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 14 is consider motion to declare 2 Highway Department plows, plow trucks as surplus.
Separate from this last agenda item, the 2 trucks that we purchased last year are now in service, and so we're looking to surplus the 2 trucks that they are replacing. One of those, truck 0544, we're proposing to be auctioned off at Iron Planet. That's been a pretty favorable method of disposal for us in the past. And then the other truck, the one that's in a little bit better condition, we're requesting for the commission to authorize that to be donated to the Sioux Empire Fair. And as a reminder that any donation of property has to have all 5 commissioners present, and it has to be a unanimous vote. And so looking for both of those. I think we probably should do 2 motions for that, for those requests.
Okay.
Madam
Any
Chair, I'd
questions
make a
on that?
motion to donate that 1 vehicle to the Sioux Empire Fair.
Okay.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second to, oh, we need to do it first as a surplus, Jeff. So
Okay,
can
thank
you surplus the one,
How about if I surplus
Five
both of
fo-
them first?
pardon me?
How
We
about
can
if
surplus both of
let-
them
I
first.
move to place both of these vehicles in surplus.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to surplus both vehicles. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Now,
And then I
Commissioner Byrd.
renew my original motion to donate to the Sioux Empire Fair.
It'd be the 2005 Sterling 0547 to be donated to the Sioux Empire Fair. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Now we have to have a roll call vote.
Karski,
Yes.
Barth,
Aye.
Bender,
Aye.
Benega,
Aye.
Hiberger.
Aye, that passes unanimously. That's all we need, because we already surplused the other one, so, let's see, the next one is item number, that passes unanimously, I don't know if I said that. Item number 15 is authorize the chairman to sign right-of-way agreements, purchase agreements to acquire 5 parcels of land to rebuild County Highway 149.
Commissioners, it's County Highway 146, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
So-
I read it wrong.
One of the big projects we're working on for next year, and maybe 2019 and 2020, it's probably going to end up being a 2-year project, is the reconstruction of County Highway 146 from State Highway 11 east 7 miles to the Minnesota state line. And our consultant and our staff have been working pretty hard to get all the right-of-way in order for this project. Most of the corridor had less than 100 foot of right-of-way, and so they've been working with landowners to try to get that full 100-foot corridor established in order to do the reconstruction project in the next 2 years. Today we have 5 different documents, H-lots and permanent drainage easements that we are requesting approval for the completion of this project. And this is just what they've been working on recently. We're going to have quite a few more here in the future. So today we're asking your approval on these 5 documents. I don't know if we need to do separate motions or if I need to read each one of them individually or if we can do them as a group.
We can do them all together.
Okay.
Do we need to read them for the record, or are we just okay with approving this? They're public, so. Okay. Okay, that's fine then. If there's no questions.
Want to read each name, the titles, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know that
You
you
wanna
have
read
to
the
read all the legals.
Okay.
So if you wanna
DJ, you just want to read 1, 2, 3, or 5 and their names, and then we'll
Okay.
we'll vote on the motion.
Number 1 is Johanna Overman, and that's 0.46 acres in section 21 of Township 101 North, Range 47 West.
And you won't have to read all that, just give their names and their numbers. She said it was enough.
Okay. That 0.46 acres will be $4,512.51. The second one is Jeffrey Niesink and Christine Niesink, and they have 0.06 acres for $1,395.64. The third one is Gerald Kunart and Mary Kunart, and that's 0.19 acres for $4,419.51. The fourth one is Donna Webster. That's 0.19 acres in the amount of $1,863.86. The fifth one is Sandra Peters, and that's 0.21 acres in the amount of $2,060.06.
Are there any questions on those? It was Marie Kunert instead of Mary. Other than that, I'd look for a motion.
Move approval.
Second.
A motion, a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thanks, DJ.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Item number 16 is fleet management update on vehicle acquisition and motor pool management and inventory management software.
Good morning, Craig Dewey, Commission Office. This memo is intended to provide you an update on where the process is at with fleet management, and it's going to cover a couple points. As you mentioned, Madam Chair, vehicle acquisition and motor pool management, the county has been in touch with Enterprise Fleet Management Services, and they are in the process, after having collected data from the county, of putting together a schedule of vehicle acquisition and making other recommendations regarding when those vehicles would be rotated out. Once we receive that information, further financial analysis is going to be conducted to make sure that the county would indeed realize some savings and that the price points would be favorable to the county operations. Then secondly, the other part of fleet management is inventory management software, and that has really been a process that has been department-driven by the Highway Department, looking for software to manage their inventory of parts, since the Highway Department conducts repairs on-site for the highway-related vehicles. And so the Highway Department conducted research regarding different software providers and has identified their preferred vendor, RTA Software. And as per county policy, all software purchases must have a conversation with IT to make sure there's compatibility with the network, and to make sure that there are any other technical issues could be worked out. So Monty Wadenbach and I from IT had multiple calls with Highway, including multiple demos of the software from RTA. And RTA is an internet-based application, so from IT's perspective, since you go to a website to log in, there wouldn't really be any issues regarding security from a support perspective. And then RTA does host that data off-site. There are not any charges should the Highway Department want to move a different direction in the future as far as getting that data back from the software provider. Any troubleshooting that would need to be provided would have to be provided directly by RTA as opposed to our IT department, because again, that's an off-site application. And then there's a list of breakdown of charges on the second sheet regarding what the initial costs would be for that software. And in addition to the initial installation, there's a cost for data conversion. Then there are annual hosting fees, and then there's some equipment regarding a scanner and labels to be able to identify the parts and track those. And then I think as part of that training, if you go down to the third and fourth pages, it will list some of the specific parts of what RTA would be including in that proposal. Our IT director, Monty Wadenbach, is here to answer any questions related to the IT perspective, and Highway Superintendent DJ Boothie could speak a little bit more to some of Highway's specific needs or desires related to the software.
Thank you, Craig. And this is just an update, guys, so there is not, or people, commissioners, so there isn't going to be a vote on this today. But do you have questions for Craig or IT or DJ on this? I'm assuming DJ's going to be bringing it forward at some point. So I don't think we have
I
any
might have
questions.
a question, I guess. Would this be funded out of the Highway Department funds?
I believe so. You wanted to speak to that, DJ?
Commissioner, when we eventually move forward with a purchase or an agreement with RTA, that would be through the Highway Department.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that? Okay, thanks for the update. Item number 17 is Commission Liaison Reports. Are there any reports? Commissioner Karski?
Last, trying to remember, Thursday, I believe, we had the Detox Advisory Quarterly Board meeting, and I took some good notes and a few things that are action items that we're working on, or some changes that I'm thinking that need to be discussed, but I left them on my desk, so I just thought I'd let you know I had the meeting last week and that we are actively engaging in that.
Thank you. Any other liaison reports, Commissioner Barth?
Couple items, Madam Chair. One is last Thursday also, we had a museum board meeting, and it was discovered that a different engineer looked at our sidewalk out there, and it's going to cost another $5,000 over and above the $9,000 that we approved at our last meeting. Apparently, there's an issue with access. Secondly, I guess yesterday, and I'm just going to comment on the fire at the junkyard. You know, there's a junkyard south of Hartford that we've been working with to try to have them cease their operations, and they had a significant fire which sent up a lot of smoke and stuff. It appeared to be chemicals or oil being burnt off, but it also looked like it involved vehicles. I know the sheriff sent somebody out, and the fire department went out and looked at it too. And finally, there was in the area of fire control, an article in yesterday's paper about the Split Rock Fire Station and the fact that they're going to build a new road in front of it, which may require the fire trucks to turn in only one direction. And I spoke to our highway superintendent about alternatives, and he's going to look into it. At the same time, I talked to Darren Tilley, the fire chief in Split Rock, and he said that he talked to the city about allowing sort of a speed bump or whatever cut into the divided highway part where they could, you know, bump over it and go left, and the city said no.
We will continue to work with the city.
Of course.
Any other liaison reports? This last week, I met with a staff member and several Lincoln County commissioners and also the state's attorney about the public safety assessment and how it might be helpful to them in controlling their prison population too. And so they are just going to take the information back and discuss it amongst themselves, and I imagine they'll probably have another meeting in the future. Is there any, item number 18, is there any new business? Commissioner Karski?
Just a question, I guess, policy procedure. Tuesday, November 6th is the election. Do we typically meet on election days?
No.
Over at Wiley's.
Wiley's, okay, and so later meeting, okay, I got.
Or commission meeting on election day. Any other new business? Is there any old business? Okay, I'd look for a motion to recess the commission meeting.
That's my motion. Second.
A motion and a second to recess. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. We are recessed probably for about 5 to 10 minutes until we go into executive session.